As I mentioned, and you're probably well aware, 11.3 billion have been transferred from the Cohesion Fund to the Connecting Europe facility to be managed under this instrument. When this money was transferred, they came with certain conditions, and the conditions were that there are going to be national envelopes, at least for a certain period of time, and these national envelopes, therefore, will be guaranteed as per the self-regulation until January 2017. That the co-funding rates will not be the ones that are generally used for CEF financial support, but they will be aligned with the co-financing rates that are provided from the ESI funds, so they can go up to 85%, depending on what has been negotiated in the partnership agreements and the operational programs for transport. And there are also we apply the same eligibility rules as regards VAT reimbursement and land purchase, as well as what you will hear later, the CBA methodology. Under the CEF, there is a requirement that all projects present a cost-benefit analysis, but there is no mandatory methodology. However, for the projects that will be funded with support from the what we call the cohesion envelope under the CEF, there is the strong recommendation that the CBA methodology, as proposed by DG Regio and prepared in cooperation with JASPERS, will apply. For the rest, how the allocation of the money follows the same proportionality, 80 to 85%, 15 to 20%, as under the general CEF envelope, with 80 to 85% going to pre-identified projects on the core network and core network corridors and horizontal priorities. But with the difference that from the 15-20% remaining, the projects on the comprehensive networks cannot be funded. So from the CEF cohesion envelope, only core network projects can be funded. And in addition, the 10% for the financial instruments cannot be deducted from the cohesion envelope. That will come only, it's applied only to the CEF general envelope, at least not while there are guaranteed national envelopes under the under this CEF cohesion envelope. We have, it has been mentioned, and we have asked, and we're happy to see that most of you have responded to that the projects that are planned to be submitted for the CEF are presented as indicative in your in the list of major projects as presented in the transport operational plan. Because we want to that there is only one project pipeline with projects that go either to the ESI funds or to the CEF, but that you don't try to submit at the same time to one or the other funds. Because we should use as much as possible, try not to waste our efforts, so use the two funds in complementarity, and therefore we have been also working with you and with the DG Regio to make sure that in advance there is this complementarity between projects and not a competition, let's say, between the two funds for these projects. Here, just what I mentioned, when the co-financing rates are differentiated, you have much lower co-financing rate under the CEF general envelope as opposed to the CEF cohesion envelope, where you can go up to 85% of co-financing for the project. Coming to the complementarity between CEF and the ESI funds again, we are looking at the core network and in particular on the core network corridors, deployment of traffic management systems and new technologies, whereas, yes, and on rail and inland waterways are the priority modes for financing from the Connecting Europe facility, whereas from the ESI funds, and also the possibility to finance projects on the comprehensive network that complement the projects that are financed, that feed into the core network, but also that respond to needs of regional accessibility and mobility. Also, what I did not mention, the corridor work plans, the projects that are in the OPs, they also appear in the work plan if they are on the core network corridors. So we'd also use we invite you to make use of the core network corridor forum discussions and coordination activities in order to ensure that there is a coordinated investment and therefore you use the projects that do have a plan there, that they coordinate with other projects along the corridors. And of course, we expect that the projects that will be proposed for the CEF are in your national transport plans that in some countries have been already finalized or are still in the process of being finalized. You may have heard that the Connecting Europe facility, as opposed to the structural funds, has what we call a centralized management and not a shared management. What is centralized management? It means that the programming is done at EU level via work programs, which are adopted as a rule annually. Which, to make just a comparison, the programming instrument under the ASIF funds, you have the operational programs. What the work programs, we have two types of work programs. They are annual and multi-annual work programs. Very easy to remember. The multi-annual work programs refer to the 85% part of the budget that would go to pre-identified projects that are listed in the Annex 1. Whereas the annual program refers to the programming of funds, the 15-20% that can go to other projects on the core network, the comprehensive network, and the financial instruments. What the work programs specify are what are the priorities that would be financed in the given year, and the amount of money that will be made available to finance projects implementing those priorities. And of course, a number of requirements that would need to be fulfilled by those projects to receive finances. On that basis, then we adopt calls for proposals, which are prepared in cooperation with our colleagues from INEA, from the Innovation Network Executive Agency. They also assist us in the selection of the application, evaluation and selection of the application, with the Commission having the last word in the decision, but they have an important input based on the recommendations of the external experts that the INEA hires and manages to give a first screening of the applications. We have launched the first call of proposals in September 2014, and the deadline for submitting applications is in the end of February 2015. There you also have a schedule and how that is likely to work. Following the evaluation in March to July 2015, we are expecting to have a first list of projects that will be financed, and then we will be discussing and signing grant agreements with the beneficiaries until the end of the year. There is a special call for proposals under the Connecting Europe facility for what we call the CEF cohesion envelope, and it amounts to 4 billion euros that will be made available for projects in the next year. That represents about 35% of the total CEF cohesion envelope. Again, the funding priorities are the ones that I have already mentioned. sections on the corner, network corridors or other sections that are pre-identified in the CEF annex, and traffic management systems, innovation, and safe and secure infrastructure. There are also there's also calls. You can participate to calls that provide financing from the CEF general envelope. That's a total of 7 billion euros under the multi-annual program and 930 million under the annual work program, with the same priorities as under the cohesion envelope. So in case they're not enough, you are already planning to use all the money that are reserved under your national envelope, and then you could still try and apply for financing under the CEF general envelope. We're also planning to provide assistance for the preparation of projects that will be submitting for support from the CEF now cohesion envelope. It's very important to mark down. And this can take the form of general technical assistance for the ministries, or targeted technical assistance for the rail infrastructure managers. Under the technical assistance that can be offered to the ministries, we can take the form of direct grants. We are giving grants for you to hire additional staff, or just to procure services of other consultants to help with the preparation of projects. Or you may choose to use the JASPERS to continue advising you on the projects. So what could JASPERS do for projects that are to be financed from the CEF cohesion envelope? It's advisory services that have been done already. It will not cover the IQR, because that's something that we do during the external evaluation process, which is managed together with INEA. So the difference, there's not going to be much difference in terms of how you cooperate with JASPERS as far as we're concerned. The only difference will be how we select the projects that are going to be assisted by JASPERS. As you're aware, we have sent a communication inviting the member states to submit a request for support from the JASPERS, which should mention the projects that you would like to have assistance from JASPERS, as well as the activities of project preparation that you would like to have JASPERS assistance for. Following that, we will sit together with JASPERS experts, look at the proposals, and decide based on the priorities as set out in the CEF, as well as based on the knowledge of the CEF JASPERS expert on the ground, what are and taking into account the maximum amount of from the maximum amount of money that each member state has agreed to use to finance JASPERS, then we'll decide on the final list of projects and activities that will be assisted in the next 2 years. So this is something that I didn't mention. So there we're looking at a 2-year period for assistance, and we also we need to have from you, in addition to the list of projects and the activities that are to be assisted, also the maximum amount of money that you as member states would be willing to put aside from your national envelope under the cohesion fund for JASPERS services.